Hello, my name is Richard Anthony Marca, and this is the final presentation assignment for CSC313 graphic design, and this is the final project. So as you can see, there's a lot of Java classes, but the only one that we're going to show off, because I did the most work on, is the tank simulation. So I will actually run it up. And in order for this to run, we actually need game client. So let's have that. Actually, no. First thing we need is game server. Have that running. Then we have game client run. There's the first of it. And I'll just do my initials for player one. And the same here. This time I'm going to do someone else's initials. And I don't know if you can hear, but there is sound in the background. So here's both the tanks. If I move, it shows the sound of the tank moving. If I press fire, it fires. But if I hold the fire button, it can do that as well. Now, if I go in front, I can move around and notice how like the terrain with the grass, you can actually see the grass move. And the wheels actually have, I will show you on this tank over here, the other features. So as you can see, we have the turret. We have the wheels on textures. If I move this closer, you can see that the bullet is actually a texture, which has its own PNG, all royalty free, of course, because we don't want to copyright anything. And if I go over the terrain, it actually looks really nice. It resembles like ink treads going over rough terrain, which is the point of it. Yep, that's a wall. So trying to hit the well, that's why it's because I'm aiming too high. Oops. There we go. And let me just close out of that. That is it for the presentation. And now I will show you the Word document. So as you can see, this is actually the largest file. It has actually 70 pages compared to the previous assignments. And this is just for the tank simulation file, which is the largest file, but is the one I put the most work in. So if it's going to go down to about page 24, I believe, once we start getting to my edits. So we go down more. Here we go. 21. I was close. But here are my edits. So this is the update tank movement for the movement of the tank. And notice how it has a local index. This is so our tank is the one that moves and theirs does not, as you can see from the demonstration. This is debug print. So this is for the tank body movement, as long as the local tank is not null. So it's only controlling our tank. So local tank accelerate, decelerate, turn left, turn right, as you can see with those are with the arrow keys. Now the turret rotation is with WASD. So A is going left, D is going right, S is going down, and W is going up. And this is for the bullet firing. So when you press the space bar, it fires. And this way, if we fire, it actually gets sent over on both screens. So it's shown on both screens as well. Both players get to see the bullets. And this is for the tank, where we have a flow X, Y, and Z that's now protected. We added a last bullet fire time. Wheel texture ID. So this is the PNG for the wheels. And this is the turret rotate I found on a public domain website. This is to get the barrel direction so that the bullets can also follow where the direction was going. As you can see, when the barrel was up, the bullets were going more in an upward angle. When the barrel was down, the bullets were going in a downward angle. And if you shoot while it's turning, it turns with the turret. And then this is to play the rotation sound when you ever move the turret or the barrel. This is the audio stream for that, so the clip. This is to lower the volume if we need to. So I did that with the original background music, because the original background music up there was super loud. So we actually quieted that down quite a bit. Here is to flip the image vertically on load. Here's more like buffer width, height, channels. This is the bytes buffer for the images, so they actually showed correctly. Because when I first tried doing this, they just showed as a black spot, no real color, just really dark black. Now they actually show, and those were actually 2D textures. So this is how we implement the 2D textures. And return to texture ID. This is for the setting the remote to make sure that the tank at that is set at that. This is so we know, like, if the other player moves, we actually see where they go. And then this is for the set target. This is more for setting the target positions as in where the other player is going to be. So it's on both clients' view. Here is the variable members for turret. So private float turret angle, rotation speed, length, width, the height, segments, about 36 segments, because we wanted it to be circular. And it couldn't really, I forgot to show you, but the turret is actually hollow, which is actually pretty cool. But this is for the tank dimensions, for the tank body, height, 8 wheels per side, and those two little wheels on top, because that's kind of like what a tank looks like. It has those 2 wheels that are a little smaller and higher. Rotate to turret left. This is to rotate the turret left, and when you rotate it left, not only does it change the angle at a specified rotation speed, but it also plays the turret rotate sound. And then that's the same for the right, up, and down, except different parameters. So this has plus turn angle plus rotation. This is a turn angle minus rotation. Then this is different elevations for going up and down. And then we have the getting the elevation. This is the fire to bullet, so it uses both the terrain, a list of bullets, and the game client for tank X, Y, and Z to get the X, Y, and Z of the current tank's position or the tank's current position. The barrel orientation, which has the barrel length, height, direction X, Y, and Z, the way to calculate the barrel tip, which for the tip X is just the tank, and the barrel direction X times the barrel length. Y is tank and barrel height offset, and Z is similar to X, except with the Z coordinate. Create a new bullet at the bullet tip, so it doesn't, because one of our original problems was that it started at the bottom of the tank and didn't look as realistic as it does now. And then we have barrel tip X, Y, and Z again, just so it knows where it's going to shoot out of. This is an example color of red for the bullet. And add a bullet list. We also added, I believe it's in the bullet class, they added the PNG of the bullet. So it would have been, this is what the bullet PNG is, like a pixelized bullet. This is the grass for the grass texture, ultra realistic. This is the wheel PNG, why it looks like that. This is the current moving, so it's like, it's short because it needs to be more realistic. And this is the shooting. Wow. And then the music is just too long, and I'm not going to bother playing that because I don't want to listen to it for a whole minute and a half. And if we go to after, this is for the get the tank information. Oh, I forgot to say add. This is to send the bullet data to the server, so that way it goes over to both players. And this is to get make sure that each tank has their own XYZ and red, green, and blue variable. This is from Ethan adding other things. It might have been the last of my edits. Nope, it was not, because that part he added. This part I also added, which is from the terrain, the wheels. Then this is the wheels for the side, because we have like 8 wheels on each side, I believe, either 6 or 8. We have 8 because I remember we have it up there. So 6 normal wheels and the 2 small wheels on each side. Then we have the wheel heights to make sure the heights are the same. Total height of the wheels. The tank body dimensions. This is from someone else originally started this. I finished it up. And this is for the wheels. So as you can see, it's weird because it's 8 for each side, but I did it in a way where the middles are actually got doubled. So there's the middles were multiplied by 4. So there's 4 mid front lefts, 4 mid front rights, 4 mid rear lefts, and 4 mid rear rights. And then there are also these front left and front right. These are the weird looking ones that are going to be extra small. And here's where we kind of create the extra wheels on each side. Tank body, render tank body, render the top turret on top of the tank. And then this tank stuff was Aiden's part, I believe. And if we go down, I believe I rendered a tank, rendered a tank body. And I made this blue because it is basically the same as the car, so it is so close to the car that I just saved it as the car. Render real wheel terrain with the similar segments as the other wheel. But this one is how we added the 2D textures to the wheels. And this is making them smoother. And these are some more things to help make the wheel look nicer. Have a triangle fan, the text coordinates for the center of the texture, the front face to know where we actually have to put the texture, the center of the circle, and the number of segments. Because to make a circle, you need a lot of segments. And then if a lot of the repeating things for the rear face as well, and then the side faces, which if you notice, the side faces do not have the actual textures, only the front face that does, which is how the wheels look like they do. Then we disable the 2D texture because we don't want to keep going on that. We render the wheels on the left side, and this is the method that makes the front wheels smaller and raised up. And this makes the back wheels smaller and raised up as well to give it more of a tank look. And this is for the wheels per side. We have like a minimum, I believe it's set at 8. So we have that. Then to make sure the first wheel scaled down and the last wheel scaled down. And then this is to make sure the updated positions match the current positions. Directly update the position without interpolation for the remote tanks. And then that should be it. The rest is the OBJ loader. It's had a slight change. The terrain, which was I believe Matt was in charge of. I'm not sure. I can't remember 100%, but they were in charge of that. And that should be the last of my edits. I did add this because I believe this was Ethan did the bullets, and I just added the sound to the bullets. So that's why there's this random yellow here, because that was my contribution to the bullets in this file. And I believe that should be the last of my edits. And that is it. And I will present this on whenever I need to. Thank you for watching.